important. I'm sorry. Last break I'm skipping, but please continue. This is Bombshell. So everybody gets together, gets motivated, and then is directed by Obama, go after the guns. So take the tragedy, take all the pain, the whole history of abuse, and then fuse it in as a weapon of anti-gun. It's genius. It's perfect timing.
Well, yes, I hate to say it's evil genius, but it's genius because you have some of these speakers at these rallies that are basically, let's face it, I'm an African-American, they hate America. And they will take this will be the topic of every speech and every celebration across America.
That's right.
This weekend.
Wow, you really tied it all together. Last night, I've been talking about it, I've been having an ominous bad feeling. I mean, I said it yesterday on air.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while.
And I said I think it could be race war because I can see all this hype. And by race war, I mean get everybody, idiots, white and black, killing each other. Won't be like a general, like everybody kills each other. I mean, and Jakari, go get in a fist fight. But they're hyping this discord, hyping this manipulation. And I was on the Red Guard website, Facebook, and I was looking at their L.A. chapter and their Oregon chapter, and it was like, the time's coming. The only good pig's a dead pig. We're warming up. We're getting ready. And then I learned they're foundation funded. They got professors handling them. And they're really coming out of dry ice, activating everywhere. And that's just a sign, like a fever blister rising up or eczema that you're sick inside. These sores are coming up, and the super hardcore left is like activating right now and getting ready to make their move. And the red flags are coming out. I'm telling you, this summer is going to be big. And if they hype this enough, then racist blacks are going to kill whites. Racist whites are going to kill blacks. Mentally ill people are going to start doing stuff. And they could really kick something off. I'm really concerned.
And it's also 3 weeks away from the NAACP convention in Philadelphia.
Perfect timing.
Where I will be at doing my thing, but we won't talk about that.
Well, Reverend Childress, impart more deep knowledge and discernment on us, because this just makes me nauseated to see us played, whether it was staged or not. They're going to use the crisis to go after the guns and stir everybody up and divert from the anti-human agenda that's particularly aimed at black people from the globalist.
I will clearly say this, and there's not a person in America that could doubt me on this, that if you were going to do something like this, this is the perfect time. People are making their speeches now for what they're going to say Saturday, and some begin on Friday, even all through the weekend. So if you're going to have a theme across America,
Thursday's perfect
to African Americans, this is the day. This is the day we finalize our sermons for the pulpit. This is it. And I'm saying to myself, who is doing this? I don't want to really believe who's doing it, but it's obvious people who are very well endowed, situated, and are in a position to profit from it. So I was on the phone this morning when I heard about it, and we discussed this ministerially. I said, come on, look at the timing on this. Look at who's doing it. Look, that speech he gave as he left, of course, will now be being said across America.
And now they admit he was on this amnesic drug. I mean, he's on a literal mind control drug.
This guy doesn't seem that smart to pull it off. I agree with what Reverend Childress
said. It takes a lot of will. I don't mean to interrupt. It takes a lot of will to reload and kill 9 people in cold blood. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Just to echo off what he was saying, he may very well had these tendencies to go out here and do this, but if, let's say, he was in his white supremacist group or whatever, and he mentions this to people like, well, if you're going to do it, you may try to do it, this week, just.
And they would have a federal handler in there like they did at Elohim City, Southern Poverty Law Center, winding everybody up.
Yeah, it's he made some great points.
Months ago, this was planned. They you have a very, very skilled enemy. Months ago, this kid was prepped for this week. And there's events going on in Selma this weekend. There's events going on in every major.
And the movies have come out. Everything's been timed. Just like Pearl Harbor came out right before 9/11. And again, I'm not saying the government did 9/11. They allowed it to take place. That's now been basically leaked and declassified. You can see the whole rollout, Reverend Childress. I'm so glad I got you on because you just crystallized it all for me. How do we avert this? How do we stop them? As Europe goes into depression this week with runs on the banks happening now.
Wow. Well, I didn't know that, but it's certainly the recipe for total chaos in America because of all the incidences leading to this one. I believe that they thought this would be the one to tip everything over. Once again, if the church is the church, we turn the other cheek. We stand up, we protest, we demand love. This is what Martin said, that we were to protest in Christian love. And we really look at this situation and not view all Caucasian as the sentiments that this young man has expressed, but also know that we're being set up. I'm praying that people would recognize that this is all a setup, and that they get back to our church. This also should wake the church up. The church has been sleeping. Now you need the church for peace.
Wow, look at the priming. Look at the preparations. Look at for the gear up. Reverend Childress, we've got to have you on every day on the nightly news and the radio for the next. No, I'm telling you, because you, with your knowledge, experiencing this in your life, being on the front lines, you really have knowledge that I don't have. I've got knowledge you don't have. Jakari's got knowledge I don't have. I have knowledge. All of us together, you know, trying to look at this. I'm getting chills right now because you can see all the preparation building towards this. This is the big move, is a race war to bring in total chaos and then total federalization with this evil Justice Department. They've even gotten rid of the other attorney general who had baggage to put the new one in for the political persecutions of conservatives and Christians. They're dropping the hammer. Jakari, I interrupted you. You were going to say something.
Oh, no, you hit it right there in the head. And as you talk about the Justice Department, you know, I thought it was very convenient that, you know, just over this past few months, they switched out Holder, who was supposed to be gone last year. So now, you know, when they come in with their new regulations of we want to do this, we want to do that, and people bring up things like Fast and Furious, well, you can't hold us accountable because that was the old attorney general. And I really hope that they do have a change over there in the Justice Department, but I just can't see that happening in the near future.
Persecution of libertarians and Christians is worse. I mean, who knows what they'll do to us? I mean, it's getting scary. And what about look, there are a lot of bad cops. They're racist cops. You know, there's a lot of issues. But just saying kill the cops, and they let these leftist groups go out and say kill cops, and now cops are getting killed, then the cops are going to get more aggressive. There's going to be, it's going to blow up.
Yes.
I mean, it's a setup.
Yeah, it's just getting worse. Just getting worse.
Well, pitting the police against people will certainly bring in martial law very quickly, and they are circling the wagons. If I was a police officer, I'd have to circle the wagons too, because they're the ones that have my back. It's unfortunate. I would also realize there are bad police, but in the final analysis, I would expect my comrade to have my back. And unfortunately, now my back has to be covered by the public I'm supposed to protect because they are being incited against me as a police officer.
Stay there, Reverend. I'm going to do 5 more minutes with you. You're just incredible insight, piercing insight. Oh, man. This is it. This is the big move. And war with the Russians and depression in Europe. It's all going to kick loose. Blackgenocide.org. Reverend Childress knows his eugenics history. He knows his globalist history probably better than I do. And blackgenocide.org is just a treasure trove of fighting evil. I mean, my heart, I don't want to be one of these fake liberals like Clinton going, I love black people. I'm like a black person. You know what? I'm a person. I got red blood. And it makes me sick watching black people, particularly in the clutches of the nanny state that wants to kill them. And to know that these top liberals are current Grand Dragons, like Senator Byrd and others, who's dead now. He never left the Klan, folks. And does that mean the Republicans are good? No, they're horrible. Look at them with the TPP. And they want us at each other's throats. This is cynical. It's sick. And whether they wound this guy up or whether it was staged or not, they're not letting a good crisis go to waste. They're going to rub salt in the wound. And the scripting of, and they were there and he just cold-bloodedly killed him. And it was horrible. They wouldn't normally do that because they don't want to incite stuff. They are inciting. I don't know if the police chief is that stupid or was fed this by the Justice Department. But and then Reverend Childress points out Juneteenth's coming up, and then the big NAACP meeting and all this with all these movies and TV shows out about race. And the media, when you see prepping, and see, I was saying I didn't see the media with their talking points at first, but actually the talking points came before. And then they didn't want to be seen with their talking points because it's gotten too obvious. Like when Bloomberg got caught with the emails the night before saying, get Twitter ready for a big shooting, the night before Sandy Hook. I mean, I'm ranting here. Reverend Childress, we just got 3 minutes left in this short segment. I'm going to come back with Jakari Jackson and Larry Nichols. But other points you'd like to impart, and I'd like to invite you back on tomorrow, please, sir, as we know more about this.
Well, it appears that Time Magazine, as you remember when the last time I was on your program, it was there in South Carolina where they said Black Lives Matter. Right now, South Carolina has become ground zero. Whatever happens from here certainly will determine the climate in America for a while. And I don't know what I'm praying that the people of South Carolina show unconditional love, and also being that we're all family, and that they can really quell this. I'm telling you, if they hype things up, Baltimore will seem like Disneyland from this. So it's unquestionable that we have to unquestionably pray for the peace of Charleston. This pastor, now this church is basically without leadership. When you kill the people on Wednesday night, that's your core group. Those are the people that really get the church moving. They've all been taken out. And so I hope the church rallies, but they rally in love.
They have martyred this church. You know, it could be a white supremacist plot, too, and not a governmental one or Southern Poverty Law Center type op, because there are some white supremacists who do want to start a race war, like Helter Skelter and what we saw with Charlie Manson. But then he was tied into the government as well. Man, I tell you, I can feel it in my gut, like you said, Reverend, in your spirit. Something big's about to happen.
Right. I just don't know who it is, but it's obviously that it is. The young man was prepped for this, not this week, weeks ago. This is going down now. Of course, it's all, they have to see how the people respond. It's an anticipation on how the people respond. This is where you call on God, and he can take something evil and turn it around to make something wonderful happen. And if he doesn't,
so that's the answer. Pray for peace, pray for discernment, pray the scales be lifted off people's eyes, and we use this to come together, not apart.
Yes, that's the design. Design is to separate and cause the war and cause more government intrusion, and no question, and control, to strip us of more of our freedoms. That's the plan.
All right, God bless you, sir. We're going to
out who's doing it. Okay, thank you for having me.
You can join us tomorrow?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow's Friday. Yes, sir.
God bless you.